Welcome to Gold and Blue Tube, where it's always a good day to be a mountaineer. Halloween's coming up, so I decided to rock my West Virginia helmet. I'm going to see if I can get the white one and the gold one as well to complete the ensemble. But for right now, I got the classic blue, the matte blue with the gold flying WV insignia. Love it. I don't usually wear it, but since it's Halloween, I decided to put it on. So, Neal Brown has decided to hit the reset button. I truly hope that's not because of social media and our fan base. I didn't realize how thick of skin a coach for West Virginia needs to have until I saw all the feedback on Coach Neal Brown in the first half of the season. For what he was left, he's doing a great job. 3 wins in the first 7 games don't sound great, but for what was left for him, that's pretty good. We shouldn't have 3 wins. At the beginning of the season, I said 5 wins, and then I kind of backed off of that a little bit because of the Missouri blowout, and I was thinking, maybe 3 wins. And then we beat NC State and Kansas. I know Kansas, usually the doormat. But Kansas actually looks pretty good. They thumped Boston College, and then they got another win the other day. So that's actually a decent win. I know most years that's still not a great win. But for this year, rebuild year, covered bear from Dana Holgorsen, that's a good win. So we have a game against Baylor coming up on Thursday. Baylor looks pretty good, but they still have some issues. They played a very bad Texas Tech team and barely beat them. So there's hope right now. The only thing is, I don't know if we are mature enough as a team to win on the road. We're very, very young. Halfway through the season, that's about all the experience some of these players have. And people don't realize the reason Neal Brown went and got Austin Kendall was because our quarterback situation is so young. And he's a good judge of talent, so he knows what he's doing. Austin Kendall does give us the best chance to win, in his opinion. He's the coach. His opinion is what matters. We need to stop trying to coach this team. We don't realize we have a top 20 football coach here at West Virginia. He chose us. Now at the beginning of the season, he was like 20 to 25 spots above Dana Holgorsen. I think it's higher than that even. If you look at his recruiting classes, I don't know about this year, but for 2020, we could definitely be in the top 20 in recruiting class. That's amazing for West Virginia. We average between 35 and 40. I know this last recruiting class was like in the 50s, which is terrible. But he's going to get his players in. He's getting his system in. He's a great coach. This was a great hire. This was a home run. It doesn't look like it right now to Mountaineer fans because we're not used to having losing seasons. But if you look at previous coaches, especially Don Nehlen, Hall of Fame coach, he had some down years. I know we don't like to talk about Rich Rod that much, but even his first couple seasons, terrible. It's like 3-8, 4-8, something like that. So you really have, this first year is really, you can't even really judge anything. You can't get mad. I know it's a right, as fans, for us to get mad. I'm not saying you definitely 100% shouldn't get mad, but cut him some slack. You got to realize, the situation that he was dropped into. So we definitely do need to trust the climb, and a lot of people are like, that's a cheesy line, blah, 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 blah. It's a galvanizing, uniting quote, or saying, whatever you want to call it. Just like Clemson has the all-in. I live in the upstate of South Carolina, and that phrase is used all the time. It's not considered cheesy or anything like that. It's just a unifying phrase that they use. So that's what Trust the Climb is for us right now. Maybe that'll change over to Leave No Doubt or something like that once, we get up there. But for right now, that fits our situation. So it works for me, definitely. And I'm definitely trusting the climb. So keep the faith. As far as the rest of the season goes, I do think we can get wins against Texas Tech. I know Kansas State looked good, but I think we can get a win there. TCU, and I'm not sure about Oklahoma State. That's on the road. This Baylor team, if it was at home, I would actually give the nod to West Virginia over Baylor, but it's on the road. I don't know if we're mature enough to win on the road against a decent quality opponent. So, probably still going to give the edge to Baylor. I want to say West Virginia. That's what my heart says, but my brain says Baylor. So I'm going to give it to Baylor. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm going to say Baylor by 10 points, something like 34-24. I think our offense will show some improvement, some new plays thrown in there. To be honest with you, our defense has been playing really, really well. It's just that the turnovers, they pin them in deep. They're on the field way too much. They just get worn out. So I really don't have any issues with the defense. And you can tell Coach Brown, he's instilling the discipline and player position that was missing under Holgorsen. By the way, if you guys hear something, it's raining down here, so just bear with me on that. It's a nice, rainy, gloomy day. But I have faith in this coaching staff. He's a brilliant coach. He deserves us to give him a chance. First year, you can't judge. Now, if things like this were happening and this was like his third or fourth year, yeah, big time concerns, massive concerns. But this is his first year. He's not even complete. He hasn't even completed his first year. So, yes, you're allowed to get mad as fans. That's our right. But just try to keep it in perspective. I think there's some great things down the road for West Virginia. I 100% believe we will be competing for the Big 12 championship in a few years. But I'm hoping that when our contract is up with the Big 12 that we can jump to the ACC. Big 12 is Midwest. We're not Midwest. West Virginia's not Midwest. We don't belong in the Big 12. But that is the hand we are dealt for right now. But I'm hoping in the future when our contract is up that the ACC will pick us up. That way we can, renew our rivalries with Virginia Tech, Pitt, Syracuse, Boston College, Miami. And then, there's some other teams we'd love to play. Virginia, North Carolina, Clemson. So that would be awesome if we could get into the ACC. That's down the road. Right now we're in the Big 12. 5 games remaining. I still think we can get into a bowl. If we get into a bowl this year, that would be... People don't even realize how big of a win that would be for West Virginia under Neal Brown in the first year, considering the lack of talent and experience that was left for him. So we're still shooting for that. We'll see how that goes. If it don't happen, that's fine. We just have to keep the talent in mind. So keep your heads up, guys. Let's get through this first year, and then 10-win seasons, Big 12 championships, they're coming. Keep your head up. Let's go Mountaineers.